YouTube's being sued by LGBTQ plus. They are suing YouTube for being discriminatory. I guess the LGBTQI plus. I get really good at saying that. You want to see this? Here, they made an announcement video.
That's why
they made a huge collaborative announcement video where, well, let them explain it better than I could.
Yeah.
But they filed a lawsuit against YouTube officially. LGBTQI plus.
Google and YouTube's treatment of our LGBTQ plus community?
Oh,
No,
oh, she didn't say. That's fucking so disclusive of her. How the fuck could she not say I?
Do you know what sucks? Google and YouTube's treatment of our LGBTQ plus community?
LGBTQ plus.
They flagged our pride. They did not allow us to buy ads. They restricted us, they demonetized us, and they did not stand up for us.
And they broke their promise of a platform for free speech built off of our backs.
then they blatantly discriminate against us. Admit that their algorithm is biased and promise to fix it. They lied. And still, they claim inclusion and even want to march on
so
a parade.
I understand them that you are not going to take them very seriously.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to go back. I won't fuck with it.
They blatantly discriminate against us. Admit that their algorithm is biased and promise to fix it. They lied. And still, they claim inclusion and even want to march in our parades.
How dare they?
That is why
How dare they?
we, as a group, are
It doesn't seem
suing
they're taking it
Google
very
and
seriously.
YouTube.
Hi, we are Bree and Chrissy from YouTube, and this is why we are suing Google and YouTube.
Our LGBTQ plus content is being demonetized, restricted, and not sent out to viewers, which has highly affected our ability to reach the community that we strongly want to help.
Hi, my name is Chase Ross with uppercase Chase 1 on YouTube, and the reason why I'm suing Google and YouTube is because I'm fed up of the discrimination that we're getting in the LGBTQ community. YouTube is supposed to be a safe space for us. I don't feel safe at all. Things need to change. The algorithm needs to change. We need to stand together because we're more powerful in numbers. And honestly, standing here, watching our videos get demonetized, it's disheartening. It hurts. And it needs to end right now.
Hi,
So
I'm Lindsay Amer with Queer Kid Stuff on YouTube. I'm suing.
So I'm just thinking, coming off of our last episode, everything, no matter what we talked about, got demonetized and mature rating and whatever you want, and I got it all. So I'm just thinking, I don't know if they're aware, but it's happening right now on everything.
Yeah, my first thought was that, well, I certainly see it from their perspective of like,
Yeah.
I am sure that like if you type in your title like gay or trans or something like that, that YouTube will consider it like, they'll be like, oh yeah, brands don't want to be associated with controversial issues.
Yeah. Why should this be a controversial?
I don't know why it should be a controversial issue, right? But again, I would need to see specific details because I saw a clip that they showed, and it showed the two gay girls making out, and they're like, this was demonetized. And I'm like, well, so in that case, I see why they would do that.
Like
But
if it was a straight couple making out, it
Yes.
likely also would have been demonetized? Okay,
Yes.
that's a fair point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like tuned in about, I feel like I always kind of have a spidey sense about what would be if I did kissing, I would expect a yellow. It's gotten so bad.
I mean, our last episode,
Episode got creamed. It got
all of our highlights, like,
it got a really severe rating just because of the title, because it has, I can't even say his name.
yeah.
But
even the Tumblr conversation.
yeah, it's really bad. Now, are they mistaking an increase in demonetization as discrimination?
That's my question.
And it seems like probably yes, because YouTube is pretty LGBTQI plus friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have no reason to discriminate.
Seeing what they care about, they always make it very clear that they're very
It's what they put out.
pro and supportive. So
and then another thing they have to understand is that, again, and this is something I always argue with them about too, is that it's not YouTube. I mean, so they're talking about freedom of speech and stuff like that, and let's talk about demonetization. I mean, that's not to do with YouTube. Those are the brands. Right. Now the systems that YouTube gives the brands is very obtuse, and the pre-check settings for like the standard really discludes a lot of content that I think should be included. But again, YouTube's being on the safe side because of the history.
Yeah, it's all ever since the apocalypse.
Yeah, so we all, Google and all of us, got a hard lesson and a difficult wake-up call. Now, when you go to the algorithm issue, I think they do have a point, and that's something that I'm grappling with YouTube too. Is like, so for example, our last podcast, they go, well, it's not appropriate for ads. I say, okay, fine. I don't even care about the ads. It's yellow. What I want to make sure is that my audience is getting the same exposure to that content, the same opportunity to watch it as all my other ones. Right. Because there are certain ratings that like you can get, and YouTube has said this publicly, that you can get on a video that can suppress its views, and by suppress I mean
by like how age appropriate it is, right?
Depending on like the sensitivity of content that's in it, right?
And when it's suppressed, it's that you don't get a notification when it goes out.
Not that. No, it's not that.
Oh,
it's stuff like showing up on your homepage, because they think, if it shows up on your homepage, we want it to be age appropriate. That's a huge one. It might even be less recommendations on the sidebar. Now, those drive a lot of traffic. And so let's say if you've signed up and you've said I don't know, like I haven't even seen our new episode on my homepage, so I don't even know. But yeah, they want your homepage to be somewhat friendly. So in the case of our new podcast, we're seeing way less homepage and recommended hits. So the same thing may well be happening to them. Now, it really should be taken on a video by video basis, because I find it hard to believe that there's any, direct attempt to censor or suppress.
I feel like the problem is like, from their point of view, I can see that what they feel, and they probably feel like they have a case, because they can just tag gay and then it's demonetized, which is insane.
And they're a marginalized group, so they're looking at it through that lens.
But I think they need to remove it's like they're adding bad intention specifically towards them, which I really don't think is there on the YouTube side. I don't think anyone is targeting them as...
I feel like there's no way.
No way.
Let's finish watching, because Queer Kid's stuff here is about to pitch his reason why he's suing.
Google and YouTube, because from day one as an LGBTQ plus creator on YouTube, I've faced discrimination on a platform that touts its support of my community. For years, it's affected my mental health and my livelihood. I've suffered, and I've watched
I don't know what she's complaining
as my community
about.
Of creators.
She's complaining about comments? I mean, how is she being she's saying that her experience on YouTube is affecting her...
Yeah, I think from what I was reading about the lawsuit, the demonetization thing is the big headline thing, but it's also comes down to like harassing comments and an inability to... from what I understand, and you know this better than me, but... their suggested thing is to just turn off the comments, but turning off comments also suppresses you in the algorithm, because the engagement is part of what
That's
drives.
Incorrect.
That is incorrect?
That is a misunderstanding.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was my understanding of their argument about
actually, I think they may have put that in the complaint, but that is, and as they'll find quickly, as YouTube absolutely destroys this case, is that
comments have nothing to do with driving traffic.
Absolutely no drive. It has no signals at all.
So all those people that are always like comment down below to help get this video out there.
that
They don't
was
know what they're
always
talking
like-
about.
You know, I think at one point that may have been true a long time ago.
But even then, there was no proof ever that it does anything.
And I mean, well, look, PewDiePie for a long time had his comments disabled entirely, and his views you can even look back and see.
Fine.
There was no drop off in any way. But I mean, there's no correlation there, and I think that the blacklisting tools are quite robust too.
But when it comes to how this stuff affects you and mental health and all that, I mean, we all go through that. It's not specific to anyone as a group, you know. It's just being on the internet, being on YouTube, looking at comment section anywhere, Reddit, whatever, Twitter.
I'm not really sure what to say, because she's saying that she's on a platform that's supposed to protect them, but you're on a public platform that by its definition, I mean, we all know what YouTube is, you know. Not really sure what you want done, you know.
Has suffered.
I mean, I hate to sound like obtuse, but I think the answers you're looking for are probably within yourself. I mean, YouTube can't make you more resilient.
No, I mean, what can they do?
You have to make yourself more resilient.
From one of the articles, the specific, aside from monetary compensation, because they are suing for money, that's one of the things. But it's also,
is there a number, by the way?
No, not.
Okay.
I looked around to try and see how much they're suing for, and I guess that would probably be awarded by the court in some way.
Well, they're most outrageous. I saw a claim of loss of monetary damages is that one of them apparently earned $3,500 a month, and now they earn $4,500. So, I mean, in terms of damages, I'm not really sure that you can even.
I mean, that's a significant drop off.
Yeah, I know, but
I wonder if that
suing
coincided
YouTube,
with the apocalypse, where everybody's money dropped
Right.
off to that degree. You know, I know you guys, your ad revenue went way down after all that.
Yeah, dude,
so.
our ad revenue dropped like literally 90%.
Yeah,
like for every dollar, we're making 10 cents.
So the other thing was that they want an injunction to stop YouTube from, quote, censoring, restricting, restraining, or regulating speech based on discriminatory or discretionary use or application of discriminatory, animus-based, arbitrary, vague, unspecified, or subjective criteria, which I think relates to the fact that they're saying that big LGBT creators seem to be exempt from a lot of these problems.
Oh, right. That wasn't their main.
Right.
Let me finish watching the video, because I think another one of their main points is that creators are unevenly treated.
For a long time, I wondered why YouTube allows this to happen. It's simple. They don't care. They use our important content to feed their bottom line, and they simply just don't care about us. They don't care about the importance of our work. They don't care about our mental health, and they don't care about our
Or, I mean, they care about you as much
Only
as they
their
care
own.
about everyone else, which is really not that much, because there's like 1 trillion people on YouTube.
Right.
Anyway, I got to stop pausing.
Profits. It's high time that we call their bluff. It's time they pay for the damage they've done.
Hi, I'm Amp Summers from What's the Safe Word on YouTube, and this is why I'm suing Google. Growing up, I was in a very religious household. I didn't get any sort of gay education, let alone queer education, that applied to me and the sex that I was going to have. I create content on the internet that I wish I would have had growing up, but we're finding it harder and harder to create content on this platform. Google and YouTube continue to censor us and tell us that we're not breaking any rules, but that our content is still not allowed and going to be restricted on this platform.
Hi, I'm Salsa Dulé.
And
Salsa?
I'm Cameron Steele. We're co-hosts of San Francisco's GlitterbombTV.com.
And we're longtime creators on YouTube.
We are suing Google and YouTube because of blatant discrimination against us as part of the LGBTQ plus community.
And they refused us advertising because of the gay thing.
I don't think they said
we are
that.
the LGBT plaintiffs in a
I don't
class
think that's a
action
quote.
lawsuit against Google and YouTube. We are not going to stand by any longer while our community gets dismissed, belittled, and discriminated against. You can help by sharing our video and our message. We're using the
I guess I'm
hashtags
helping.
LGBTQ versus Google YouTube, hashtag don't be evil, hashtag be equal. Or you can join the fight with us.
For more information about our case,
Oh, they
or
If you'd
They
like
never
to share a
mentioned the
similar
part about,
situation,
well, anyway.
It's not in the video.
Yeah, here they say, they allege that higher profile creators get special treatment. They cite James Charles specifically in the complaint. Though they emphasize they don't blame Charles, they blame YouTube for applying the rules unevenly. They show a video of him, I think we watched it, of him at Coachella where he's wearing like, remember that outfit he was wearing where his ass is totally exposed?
Mm-hmm.
And spanking a woman's bare butt at Coachella. Now, I don't know why you think that video wasn't demonetized, because I think there's a big chance that video was yellowed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the times my videos are yellow, and other people, PewDiePie and all these huge creators, their videos yellow.
Right.
And you can't assume that it's green. So these guys have the things and a lot of complaint, and there's a lot of stuff I think that YouTube can easily dispute.
Yeah.
By controlling an estimated 95% of the public video communication that occurs in the world, Google and YouTube wield unparalleled power and unfettered discretion to apply viewpoint-based content policies in a way that permits them to pick winners and losers. Well, that's true. That's a whole anti-monopoly law. I mean,
what is it? I don't understand.
well, they're saying they control 95% of the public video consumption that occurs around the world. I mean, sure, I'm not going to argue with that. That's definitely,
It's really interesting, too, because, I mean, that whole point that they're making, you hear all the time from conservative YouTubers as well, on the other end of the spectrum, saying that they're being discriminated against because of their viewpoints.
Right. That's the truth.
You're right.
Well, I think ultimately they're all mistaking what's the common reality for every YouTuber as discrimination towards their group.
Yeah.
There's a left-leaning YouTuber that I know of, David Pacman, and there's not a lot of left-leaning. I don't know. Oh, I guess there's the Turkish guys, whatever, the Young Turks. But this guy's just a lone operation, just one dude, and he all the time was getting fucked. His channel was yellow, unmonetized. He was complaining all the time about it. So I mean, I just don't think that there's any. I think that's just a fallacy. Everyone's getting fucked. Washington Post reported earlier this month that moderators for YouTube are trained to treat the most popular video producers differently than others by, for instance, allowing hate speech to remain on the site. No way. While enforcing their policies more stringently against creators with fewer followers. YouTube denies this claim. I'll clarify this. The real truth is they don't apply the rules differently. It's just that big creators like myself have direct communication with people at YouTube. So instead of a machine making a distinction because they have 1 trillion videos uploaded every day, a human can make the distinction and make more nuanced decisions for you. And that makes sense. Look, if you're getting 500 views a video, God bless you, but YouTube does not have the resources to be involved with that many people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they have these powerful algorithms. This is the only possible way that YouTube could exist in the way it does. And so someone like me, I can say, hey, take a look at this video. And they can make that nuanced decision that a machine can't. But it makes sense. I mean, come on. Who you kidding, right? I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, even us, we went on for most of our time on YouTube without any contact there,
Dude, that was like a recent development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much until we met this guy we were talking about 2 years ago when we were at Creator Summit. Up until then, we didn't have anyone.
Yeah.
Knowing
YouTube and everyone that we've met there, they definitely don't have bad intentions.
No way. There's no way. In addition to monetary compensation, the lawsuit is also asking the court to order an injunction that would stop YouTube from censoring, restraining, or regulating speech based on the discretionary use or application of discretionary, animus-based, arbitrary, capricious, vague, unspecified, or subjective criteria rules. What the fuck are you talking about?
They're already contradicting themselves.
Yeah.
On one hand, they want YouTube to protect free speech, and on the other hand, they're upset that YouTube is not doing anything about hateful speech. But it's like, how are you going to exactly decide what's hateful speech and expect them to take it down so easily when, you know, things are really hard to define.
They expect perfection. It's like, dude, there's so much content and there's so much videos and there's so many people on YouTube. It's just a wild, feral place. That's why they have these powerful algorithms to try to make it more civilized. But hello, I mean, it's YouTube. It's the Wild West, you know? Shit. But I'm just, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they're actually suing YouTube, but I'm fairly certain that YouTube is going to, come on, dude. YouTube
I don't
is
think
gonna
there is really
squash you, bro.
Yeah.
Even if they did have a more strong case, I think their case is extraordinarily weak. Now, I'm not saying I disagree with their point of view and that I just don't sympathize with them.
Right.
I'm just saying from a legal standpoint, their case is like air. And you're going against one of the most powerful organizations that has ever existed that have lawyers falling out of their fucking pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big enemy to take on.
Yeah. But it's interesting. But I think, you know.
I think the only thing out of all of this that, you know, if it is true, I could see them having a point and would hope that YouTube would do something about it, is if they're really just blanket getting demonetized for just having a tag like gay in the video or the title. I mean, that's over the top. Like, you know, if it really is happening instantly, like you upload a video, you put that in the tag and just immediately demonetized.
Right.
I agree that
I agree
that's
with
not
that.
really fair.
that's a difficult situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure YouTube has already looked into that because I know that there's been a lot of complaints about. I mean, gay, just the word gay. Yeah, I could see that going yellow. If I made a video and I said I'm coming out as gay or whatever, I would be concerned with my spidey sense, and I'm pretty accurate that would go yellow.
So that is a problem, you know.
But yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. This happens a lot, by the way, when I say Jew or Israel or anything like that, it goes yellow. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Like all of my old videos that say Jew or anything like that, yellow. Because they see it, they're viewing it. Isn't that funny? Jew is considered. Any conversation around Jew is considered.
It's touchy.
You know, how did they call it? Sensitive.
Sensitive.
Well, and it's probably because of the algorithm, right? Because they've detected lots of, you know, anti-Semitic videos.
Yeah, and
that
I mean,
use that term. And
exactly. Or
just
they also don't monetize religious stuff. Anything that has to do with religion.
Right.
So it's like whammy, bammy. But if you make a video that said, I'm coming out as gay.
I don't know.
My boyfriend is gay. Something's gay. I would say 50-50 on that. You can dispute, though. And I'm pretty sure on dispute. The problem with the dispute process is by the time it gets resolved, most of your monetized views have already come and gone.
Mm.
But it's just, I mean, it's really tough. You know, it's really tough. Because how's the algorithm supposed to know the difference between someone who's using it in a derogatory way? And then they're making a video about derogatory about gay people, and then advertisers find out that their ads were on that video. It's
That's why
tough
I was
spot.
saying. That's why on one hand they're complaining about freedom of speech, and on the other about hate speech being not removed.
Well,
so
that
is the problem.
Let me clarify their argument. There's absolutely no free speech issue at hand here. Their videos are allowed up.
Right.
They are not removed. They are not age restricted as far as I can tell. Their free speech is not being impeded in any way.
Being able to monetize, that's a different story.
There is an argument to be made, though, about like removing the incentive to monetize. It could discourage certain kinds of speech, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a tough situation, you know. I don't know. I mean, I understand that. I understand their anger, but I don't know. You know? I mean, ultimately, sometimes...
more.